Woman accusing Kevin Costner of an unscripted rape scene submits alleged texts. Stuntwoman Devyn LaBella has brought forth new evidence in her lawsuit against actor Kevin Costner, alleging an unscripted rape scene in the movie Horizon 2. Submitted in the Superior Court of California for Los Angeles County on Tuesday, May 27th, LaBella accuses Costner of directing a violent and unplanned rape scene. The Mirror U.S. obtained court documents that include text messages LaBella reportedly sent to the film's intimacy coordinator following the incident. Us Weekly also acquired texts showing a conversation with the film's 2024 intimacy coordinator, Celeste Chaney, where LaBella expressed her distress over the previous day's events, reports the Mirror U.S. LaBella purportedly texted, "I wanted to discuss yesterday's abomination when we both have a chance." She continued by saying, "I was put in a really wrong position, and it's really affected me." Chaney allegedly replied with concern, stating, "Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear this, Devyn," and suggested they talk about the situation. In another supposed message, LaBella questioned the absence of an intimacy coordinator and why a stunt double was used for such sensitive content, asking, "Why was there no intimacy coordinator? Why was a stunt double doing this non-stunt work, especially given the sensitivity of it?" LaBella further questioned, "Who is going to take responsibility for the abuse of power?" LaBella sent a statement to the Mirror U.S. with profound concerns over her treatment on set, writing, "What happened to me on that set was a reckless violation, a breach of consent, and of basic workplace safety. I was told to lie down, and without warning or rehearsal, another actor was brought in to simulate a rape on top of me. My undergarments were exposed. I was left alone afterward, overwhelmed and in shock. Compliance under pressure is not consent." She continued, underscoring the significance of timely consent. "Consent cannot be given after the harm has already begun. Once the line is crossed, there is no real choice left to make. I spoke up immediately, and for that, I was met with silence, deflection, and efforts to discredit me. This case is not just about what happened to me. It's about a broken system that protects those in power and punishes those who speak out. It's about demanding change, not just for me, but for everyone who deserves to work in safety and dignity. What happened on that set was wrong. Let it be known. I stood up. I told the truth. And I will never apologize for demanding the bare minimum, to be treated like a human being at work." A statement from LaBella's lawyer, James A. Vagnini of Valley Kane and Vagnini LLP, provided to the Mirror U.S. reads, "In addition to amending this complaint to address defendants' continued attempts to interfere with Ms. LaBella's opportunities to work, we amend this complaint to underscore the indisputable evidence that from the moment Ms. LaBella was subjected to the trauma forced upon her, she stood up and voiced her objections and suffering. Despite defendants' continued misstatements that Ms. LaBella had no issues with what transpired, evidence, including text messages, phone calls, and even a scathing report by production's own intimacy coordinator, demonstrates the true narrative that the defendants failed her in every possible way. The playbook used by defendants like this is tired, archaic, and as hollow as their words. How many more men who have followed this same pattern of denial and redirection have to be sued or go to jail before they realize that leading with accountability and an apology goes a long way?" In her initial lawsuit, LaBella alleged that the first several weeks of filming went as expected for the role she was hired for. She stated she was told she would be doubling for the majority of a scripted, aggressive, and intimate rape scene between one female character, played by Hunt, and another cast member named Douglas Smith. Hunt reportedly refused to participate in the scene upon discovering it involved actor Roger Ivans, violently raking up her skirt. She allegedly became distraught and left the set due to her lack of prior knowledge of the scene. According to court documents, Costner, who was present on the set, specifically added this scene, which varied from the scene filmed the day before, which had not involved pulling up the actor's skirt. LaBella was similarly uninformed about the developments. After Hunt's departure, Costner asked LaBella to stand in for Hunt to line up a shot. The document stated, LaBella was not a stand-in performer, and what defendant Costner requested of her was not within the scope of her role as a stunt double. Nevertheless, and in complete ignorance of the nature of the shot, she agreed to help. In regard to the lawsuit, Kate McFarlane, ESQ, an attorney with Hadsell Stormer Rennick and Die LLP, who is representing LaBella, said to the Mirror US, "The defendant's attempted character assassination of Ms. LaBella is extremely disappointing. However, it is not surprising. We have seen this time and again from men in this industry attempting to deflect the narrative rather than take any accountability for their actions that harm others." The evidence attached to the amended complaint shows that Ms. LaBella had the courage to speak out about her assault immediately after it happened. She maintains that same courage in continuing her fight today. Costner rejected the allegations and, through a spokesperson, conveyed to the Mirror US, Ms. LaBella was doing a rehearsal on an insert shot for a scripted scene. There was no intimacy or anything sexual in the shot. There was tugging on a dress while she was fully clothed in a dress with long bloomers lying down next to a male actor. Numerous witnesses have contradicted Ms. LaBella's meritless claims. She herself texted her supervisor after she wrapped, stating, "Thank you for these wonderful weeks. We look forward to the swift end of this specious lawsuit."